Speaking my heart like it really is, 'cause I can't take another no. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now.
Radio. Okay, we're getting our iced coffee glass down. Miss Laura DIY likes herself an iced coffee. I make a vat of coffee, basically. I do a little bit of stevia. I also do a little bit of cinnamon, which has been my newest thing. Give her a little stir. Go over to the freezer and add a ton of ice. And last up is chocolate oat milk. I think this is an ounce. It sure looks like an ounce. An espresso's kind of weird where you can actually get 5 or even 7 ounce shots. So it's kind of hard to judge. Ooh, baby, that looks beautiful. Now we take our pretty shot. I actually think this is 2 ounces, which is perfect. And we add a whole bunch of ice. I've never been a stevia girly. Cinnamon I can get behind. I remember when I was little and you would go to restaurants like McDonald's, they would have sweet and low, whatever the yellow one was, all types of sugar packets. And I would just sit there, pour it out onto a napkin, and spoon it to myself, essentially. All right, now the funny thing is, I shop for these videos usually pretty far in advance. That, I'm learning, is not a good decision because I bought chocolate oat milk to put into this coffee. A specific Laura DIY ingredient, which sounds scrumdiddlyumptious, doesn't it? And somebody in the household drank it all. And that was kind of my fault because there's always like a few things I'm like, please don't eat that, I gotta use it for a video. And I forgot to say that for the one thing I should have. So we're going to literally DIY our chocolate oat milk. I'm actually really super excited because up until this moment, I did not know if I was going to be able to DIY anything today. And I'm like, this feels sacrilegious. I have, I don't know, just like some standard plant-based non-dairy oat beverage right here. And then in all her glory, we have Hershey's chocolate sauce. You wanna bet what this is from? What video I use this for? Buddy the Elf, of course. Let's just do this. I think I was gonna, you know, make it in its own little container, but I feel like there's no need for that. We're just gonna literally DIY it into the cup. So we're gonna pour all my almond milk. Why do I keep calling it almond milk? Oat milk. Which, you know what? I'm actually just slowly realizing I don't like oat milk. I think because it's so similar in texture and taste. Oh, look at that. It's like my little mini mocha this morning. But yeah, I thought I liked it. But then when I realized everyone's talking about how creamy it is, it's because it's so similar in texture to dairy milk. And it just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm actually pretty excited for this. Compared to my other iced coffee adventures, it's not horrible. It would taste 4,000 times better with store-bought chocolate oat milk. How often do you see that? Like, what a rarity. Laura DIY, you queen. I can't get on the iced coffee trend. I can't. It's enjoyable, but it's just not the same as a hot cup of coffee. I'm sticking to that, by the way. What an outfit. Yeah. We're gonna be doing something that I actually never do. Use fresh fruit on my yogurt. I love fresh fruit, but the problem is I forget to eat it. It goes bad, and then I feel like I'm being wasteful and wasting my money. Also, I've constantly heard that frozen fruit's actually better for you, frozen veggies, whatever, because they freeze it at its optimal point in the game. So therefore, maybe you're getting the most nutrients that you can get from that fruit. I don't really know how true that is, but I love to believe it because that's primarily what I purchase. So I wanna know that I'm making the right decision. We're gonna use my best friend, Greek yogurt. I really don't mind which yogurt I use. I always just get some sort of plain. I don't like any of the flavorings. I just don't think they taste good. And surprisingly, yogurt is like the only thing that doesn't bother my stomach with dairy. I think it's because of the probiotics. I also grabbed grainless granola specifically for this video. Not specifically grainless, just granola. This one just sounded good. Sweet and salty clusters made with almonds, coconut, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds. That sounds very salty. Do you like salt? Meow. I think dogs think anything in these types of bags means it's a treat. I'm so sorry. I'm a big fan of making your own granola, and you can make it taste so stinking delicious. The only issue is that the minute I make it, I eat the entire sheet. Like I put it on a pan, I bake the pan, pan comes out, Taylor eats pan. So it's not worth my time. Well, it is, but it doesn't go very long. I love the way it feels, and it's very like lightweight, kind of sleek. Keith got this for free from work. Oh. Quick taste test. It smells super coconutty, and also a little bit of salt like I'm getting from the seeds. Oh, that's lovely. That is gorgeous. Vegan, gluten-free. I would say don't buy it if you don't like coconut for sure, or sunflower seeds. I feel like those are the two strongest flavors in here. Here's my cute little bowl. I'm actually very much looking forward to this. So we have our Greek yogurt. I poured a little bit of maple syrup on it because I didn't have honey, so that's my replacement. And also, I hate honey. I've got my granola, the cut up strawberries, and it looks scrumdiddlyumptious. Now we're watching Love Island. This is season 3 of Australia. We finally are starting this season. This one just premiered, I wanna say, sometime in October. I don't think it's still going on because now it's January. That would be way too long. But it is brand spanking new. It's on Hulu. All the Love Islands are on Hulu. Highly, highly recommend. Just such a delight of a show. I mean, I know it's like, it's reality television, but I love it. Like I genuinely think there was nothing better than sitting down and watching like 60 episodes of Love Island. Keith was just telling me about his late night lunch yesterday. He obviously works night shift, but he told me that he had Wendy's at, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever he eats. And he was describing like his $5, golly, what do they call it? $5 biggie bag? I think that's what it's called. Fries, a drink, chicken nuggets, and a burger. I think everything's kind of like smaller sizes, but still, all of those things for $5. And I was like, that is just wild. I am chopping up these strawberries right now, and I bet you this carton of strawberries was near $5. I shopped at Trader Joe's, so it might have been just a bit cheaper. But if I was back home, I'm certain strawberries, $5. And that is just one of those things that I think I feel very passionate about in making sure that at some point in my life, I could positively advocate for that food disparity because it really, really bothers me. And it's so beyond important because if you don't have a large amount of money to spend on groceries, but you see that Wendy's is doing this massive meal for $5, well, of course, your money's gonna go further if you go to some place like a fast food drive-through, McDonald's, the dollar menu, versus just going to a grocery store and getting one singular container of strawberries that isn't gonna get you that far. Like, it is wild, and it just really, really upsets me. It's a very prevalent issue because you're missing out on so many valuable nutrients, and I wish that there were more things that I could do, and maybe that's a great way I could spend my time like researching how I can be a better advocate for that. Like the inequity in the food market is just flabbergasting, and it's not fair to be able to compare what Joe Schmo could eat versus what I could eat if we have completely different paychecks or food deserts. Like, it just gets so twisted, and it really starts to irk me, and I just feel very fired up by it. I've always felt like I haven't done a great job post-college of finding organizations that I could easily involve myself with, like charities, for example. I love giving back. That sounds so like cliche, but I really love getting involved in my community, and I love finding ways that I can help other organizations. And I feel like I've just done a pretty bad job of that post-college, and maybe that's something that could be a great goal for 2022. Like, what are ways that I can be a better participant in my own community, a better ally and advocate for things like this? I'm looking at the menu, that's why I keep putting it on my phone. But advocating for things that really, really matter to me and bother me a ton. Sometimes I feel like I'm just very guilty of making very selfish goals. Like, it's all about me. Like, I should go to therapy, I should go on daily walks, I should go work out, I should run a marathon. And yeah, there are ways that I could maybe involve the people around me or run a marathon or a half marathon for a charity. But at the end of the day, I still feel very selfish. Even like my work itself, I'm in a very self-absorbed industry. And I think that was actually one of the reasons why I didn't pursue YouTube for so long, because my confidence, my own self-confidence was so low, and I couldn't imagine spending so much time filming myself, recording myself, editing myself, recording a podcast, all of it. It just felt like so self-absorbed, and it's very easy to be very self-centric or even like egotistical because you feel like everything is about you and it's your videos and it's your podcast, and it's kind of toxic. And by kind of, I mean really. That's why it's so important for me to constantly talk with you all, like in my DMs, in my comment sections, wherever, where else, I don't know, pen pals? Because I don't do this for me. Like, this is about us. This is about building a community together and relying on one another. And I don't know, in like a weird way, you're my coworkers. Like, I don't want to be doing this alone. I hate every location I'm choosing. My hair looks horrible. It was one of those days where I should have washed it yesterday. I was too tired, so I didn't do it. And then I thought I was going to go on a run this morning, and I didn't, honestly. I'm really stinking sore. My new workout split is like kind of kicking my butt. I'll make a video about it soon, I promise. But I feel like I'm being very, very challenged. And that's a great thing, but it's also a hard thing. It's a hard thing on my little joints.
I have been eating this like little wrap using these plant protein tortillas with some pepper jack cheese, smoked turkey breast, baby carrots. Also obsessed with this Trader Joe's buffalo style chicken dip.
Okay, this is my view of my deconstructed lunch, which I am about to construct. We're gonna make some sort of wrap here with this buffalo style chicken dip. You know me, I am not a big fan of any kind of dips, but this sounds pretty scrumdiddlyumptious. I guess it has chicken meat in it, is that right? Cream cheese, sour cream, cayenne pepper, shredded cheese. Okay, interessante. I was supposed to grab protein tortillas, but Trader Joe's does not have anything like that. I would say I almost, what is with my hair? I would say I almost exclusively shop at Trader Joe's or Costco, mainly because Trader Joe's is a lot more affordable than, I don't know, something a little bit more expensive like Safeway. There's places like, what's it called? Metropolitan Market. It's like a fancier grocery store and stuff, like a Whole Foods, those sorts of things. It's pricey, and I feel like that's where a lot of like big YouTubers shop. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but kind of going back to our former conversation, I don't have the budget for that. So it's just harder to find things like that. Like, this is the best I could do as far as yumminess. I like this brand, and these are sprouted flourless. Anywho, my point being, here I go again, anywho, said that all of Twistmas, don't get frustrated with yourself if you can't find absolute perfect match for match things that people show in their videos, because a lot of times you should just be using it as inspiration. That's what I like to do with these videos. And also, it's so hard to find the exact same thing at your grocery store. Let's say you live in Canada. I live in the United States. I live in Seattle. It's gonna be different than Arkansas, which is different than Michigan, which is different than New York, you know? I feel like we need a veggie. Am I wrong? Like, yes, but we need green. I'm not sure I can do this, y'all. I mean, this looks to me like chicken salad. Is that what Keith loves? Like this really chunky texture. I don't really know what goes into it, but it looks and it smells a lot like this thing. Chicken salad? Essentially, chicken salad sandwich. What goes in the sandwich? Shredded cooked chicken, veggies, pepper, mayo, butter. Sounds pretty stinking similar. The only main difference here is that this has sour cream and cream cheese. Chicken salad has mayo. So bless up that we're not eating mayo. I know, I'm that weird person that like cringes at the sight of mayo. But I was planning on spreading it all the way around the tortilla, but now we are going halvesies, okay? We are playing this game safely. All right, I don't know why I decided to be a chef and just toast it up a little bit. It just felt like it was going to be very dry and hard to eat, so I don't know, I just thought it would be a little bit better. A little toasty. I'm left-handed, this is absolutely impossible, okay? Going for the goal. There we go. I'd say I'm usually pretty fair when I do these videos. It's very, very rare that somebody makes something I don't normally like. I think for the most part, people have like very basic recipes, basic meals. I'm not that picky of an eater. Like, there are just one or two hard and fast things I just am not a big fan of. And certain mixes, like said buffalo style chicken dip, I'm just not sure about. But I'm very open-minded. So cheers to that. Okay, wait, I need one more bite. It's not horrible because of the cream cheese and I think cheddar cheese that's blended in. And because I toasted it, it actually kind of tastes like a cheese toasty, or is that what they call them in England? Did Love Island get me right on that one? It tastes like a cheese toasty or maybe like a burnt quesadilla. I would say the only thing, and you know me, not a dietitian over here, but if I had to make like one small suggestion, I would probably say, let's add some greenery, all right? Plants, snake plants, fiddles. For me, I would probably just pair this with a whole bunch of arugula or spinach or something. Just easy, kind of mindless side salad is my favorite way of getting in greens because you don't have to automatically try to include them in your meal if it doesn't feel like it fits. I mean, yeah, I could put like some spinach or arugula in this, but if you're just like not a fan of changing up what you love, just add it to the side. I feel like it does the same job. All right, it's snack time. Don't you love how this whole video is filmed in this entire vicinity? Like, I act like this is an anomaly, but truth be told, I spend my entire existence in the 90 square feet of this kitchen. Don't worry, I'm all right. Here's my snack. Okay, we're having cookie butter, speculoos.
Speculoos.
So stinking delicious. Basically Biscoff, kind of like the rip-off version, with 2 little baby apples because they're both gonna spoil. And they're so tiny, I thought I could have 2 instead of just 1.
I've also been eating these Kid Cliff Bars in peanut butter chocolate. This has been my little pick-me-up in the afternoon.
Cut off the moldy pieces first. Take care of that. Yeah. You know, one of my favorite things about Lauren is what a smart businesswoman she is. I really have so much respect for her. Like, she has built an empire out of doing crafts in her home. And I mean, she literally has a show on HBO Max. I was scrolling through, ready to watch whatever it is one watches on HBO Max, and there she was. I was like, that's my girl. That's my girl, Laura. DIY. Like, sometimes I think, you know, I'm just making these like silly little videos, cutting up a little mini apple in my kitchen. And then other times I remember, people watch this. I mean, Lauren was an OG. And it's kind of funny because I've done a video on Alicia, I've done a video on Remy Cruz, and sometimes I lump a lot of them together, but I never was really like an avid YouTube watcher during their most popular phases, like when they were the stars, like top of the tier, top of the food chain YouTube style. I don't know, I think I was just like busy with 7th grade things. I truly believe that those women have made such a living for themselves and their families. I think they're so incredibly smart, and it cannot be overstated enough how incredibly cool it is that those people have stayed relevant for like a decade. That is so incredibly hard, even with traditional talent like celebrities and whatnot. Most people, you know, move on. That's so cool. Okay, my favorite thing about this is how thick it is. You just dive right in and it just stays put. I'm gonna guess that has a lot to do with a lot of the ingredients I'm listing. Should we do it? Should we sneak in a little broma? Taylor Woods' signature flavor? Are you kidding me? This still exists? This wasn't a fever dream? We're alive! This is still available. I believe it is still, as of now, a limited edition flavor. So if you've ever thought about it, shipping to US and Canada, so stinking good. And if you give them all the love and support on Instagram, I know they're working super stinking hard to get this to more countries, but put the pressure on, baby, in the kindest way. I'm almost at the bottom. I think this might be the 3rd jar I've gone through. I don't think I have enough apple for how much I just poured. Okay, this is gonna be my editing snack with the protein bar. I'm just editing my life away while also spending every waking hour on Redfin and Zillow. If you are selling some sort of condo, rental in the greater Seattle area, please let me know because I am desperate. It's like such a catch-22 because I'm so grateful for this home. And I know the minute I leave, I'm probably gonna miss it in some capacity, but right now I just feel like I am losing all of the marbles. There are no more marbles on my table. They're all out the door. They're all out the one singular window that I have, and I'm losing my mind.
I'm obsessed with doing like 1-pan meals.
Okay, a little later night dinner than I was expecting, but I think we're gonna do 375 as our preheat. I've never done this before. I've seen my mom do it a bunch of times. My roommates used to do it. It's the simplest thing. I actually don't know how I could mess this up. Except, remember how I mentioned that Keith accidentally eats a lot of the food that I like to use for these videos? Well, that happened with the sausage I was supposed to use. So my backup is ground turkey, as in the only meat I had in my refrigerator. I just defrosted this, so hopefully it's fine because now it's room temperature. And then I have our Brussels sprouts to be roasting as well, which these might take a little bit longer to roast than the actual turkey, but I'm not sure. I don't know why this feels like Lauren to me.
It's been another huge Corey Ronnie. We still think you're gorgeous. So since everything that's happened today, go for it.
In case you can't tell by the background audio, I'm watching Love Island. Much has not changed. I think today I've binge watched maybe 5 or 6 episodes.
You love Love Island too, huh? Oh, she loves television.
All right, since I'm such a talented and creative chef, I'm literally following the instructions for the Brussels sprouts on the Trader Joe's bag. So if anything goes wrong, don't blame me, blame Joe. But it says to roast them for like 45 minutes, where the turkey recipe I found is like 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna put these in, then add the turkey soon. Do these feel massive? Like, should I have split them apart somehow? Will they be shrinking? I would imagine yes, but like, they look huge. Oh my golly. Ah! Okay, I'll see y'all soon. Okay, this looks like a disaster, but I promise I feel like I know what I'm doing. I just need a bigger pan, that was my dumb fault. But I seasoned this, and then I tried to make it as thin as possible in the few corners I had, and we're gonna roast it again for about 15 or 20 minutes. Kind of check in, feel out the vibe of the meal, and you go. Okay, I was not expecting this kind of progress. Look at how nicely this is cooking. I'm doing this. I'm making it happen. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Okay, I actually think this looks phenomenal. Like, I am so excited to dive into it. At first I was like, why does my turkey look like that? And then I was thinking, hey Taylor, you dum-dum, you baked it versus what you always do when you throw it on the skillet. Oh, I forgot about the rice. Rice. Thank goodness for the rice cooker.
Bone apple tea, sir. That's Jeremy's portion. There's rice underneath. I'm starving!
Okay, here she is. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the baked turkey. I don't think it's gonna have the same delicious, maybe more moist effect than it would if I put it on the skillet, but cheers to laziness and cheers to me trying to follow LAURDIY, DIYing it myself. I might need Cholula to save the day. I also might have overcooked because I was so worried about it not being cooked enough. I'll definitely eat it, but I have to work on it. The recipe feels weird. Maybe I need different seasoning. Maybe I should have used olive oil instead of avocado oil. I don't know. The Brussels sprouts are good, but I feel like I should have gone with my gut. Broke them in half and then roasted them. Ah! Finally time, y'all. I'm so excited. I have been waiting to eat these. Try them on camera with you all.
These are literally so bomb. Highly recommend.
I've obviously had chocolate covered strawberries before. I've had the Gone Berry banana, I think is what it's called. The banana version, but never the strawberries. You would not believe how many times I watched Keith. He would go into the freezer. I'd say, Keith, you know I have to use those. Yeah, you say that every time. Well, it's true. And I told him that for like a week or two because I was behind. I feel like I'm always telling you all like how disorganized I am. I was very concerned that he was going to love them a lot, which he does, and then he was going to eat them a lot, which he did, but I saved them. You can't ruin the whole video. They're so little. That's 2 stuck together. These are little itty bitty. The chocolate kicks in midway through. Oh, that is lovely. What a gorgeous little snack. They could do so many versions of this. Pineapple, banana, marshmallows. I'd buy that. Wow. A lot of people suggest that I try out food products from Aldi, and we don't have that here. I don't think it's anywhere in the Pacific Northwest or California. At least I had never heard of it, but it's a very similar concept to Trader Joe's. So if you don't have Trader Joe's and you always see YouTubers talk about it, it's just like a lower priced items store. Like something like this might have been $1.99, $2.99 versus if I go to, I don't know, Target, it could be like $5.99. But yeah, I don't have Aldi. And I don't think they're actually owned by the same company, although it's kind of confusing when you look it up. Maybe one day when I'm traveling or I move, I'll try it out. I'm like so just itching to get out of this place. I can't stop talking about it. At this point, like I will move states, I will move countries. Well, I can't, but I want to. After watching Ted Lasso excessively, I already wanted to be in London. I already wanted to be in England. Now I need to go more. Destiny. You can sit here with the whole bag. Finish this in seconds. Okay, a few Love Island Australia hot takes. This is, I think, the 3rd season of Love Island Australia. I've watched all 3. First hot take. I think they are worlds easier to understand than Love Island UK. Mainly because in the UK, there's so many different types of accents, and that's how they identify with one another. Like that's the first thing you learn about somebody. Oh, you're from Surrey, you're from Essex. You know, like that's like the first thing that they ask one another. The hardest to understand is the Scottish accent. I can't, whoa, subtitles. Another funny thing, Love Island Australia. These islanders, I catch up on the lingo very quickly. Like in 2 days time, I'm gonna be talking like them. Instead of saying something is like cool as heck, and you know, cool as F-U-C-K, don't need to be demonetized. They just stop at as. Like this quote, you look snug as. What? They also call kissing pashing, like with a P. Please, all of my Australian watchers, if you hear this and you think I'm so off base, let me know. The one thing that I was like going bonkers over, do you call socks sockets? When they said it on the television, I was like, a socket? Like in the wall? I just love languages like that are so apparently similar. Like I can understand them. We're both speaking English, but it's just such a different type of vernacular, and like the lingo is just so different. I think it's fascinating. In a different life, I think I would have gone down the linguistic path, but I probably wouldn't be a very good professor or scholar because I can't even say those words. Do you remember that movie Arrival with Amy Adams? I literally wanted to be her. I wanted her job. I wanted everything about her. I thought that was one of the coolest movies I'd ever seen. I wrote like a whole thesis paper on it because I was just so fascinated with how communication can just literally take you out of this world. What a perfect reference that was. Thank you so much. All right, well, this is kind of like a lazy, kind of like a snuggly day for me. I'm like still on my path of learning good work-life balance. I think the biggest thing I'm trying to do is not feel like I need to work until I go to sleep, because I kind of like missed those feelings of getting off of work and just being like, I'm just coming home to relax. Although you never relaxed. You had dinner to cook and you had things to clean and laundry to do and workouts and whatever, but you get the point. It's like, I shouldn't have to come home to homework, but I do that to myself. So learning to have a better balanced schedule is key. Trying to find like some sort of organized system that works for me, also key. I think one of the most helpful things I've learned about myself as I've gotten older is that I have ADHD, and I never, ever knew this growing up because I don't think my symptoms are the same as, let's say, my best friend who has ADHD, so I just never thought I would be diagnosed for it. But because of that, I never gave myself grace when it came to like not sticking to routines and not feeling like I could ever have the same type of organization as everybody else around me. The best thing that I can do for myself is find systems that work for me instead of kicking myself down and saying, you're not organized because you don't do it like them. You don't religiously use Google Calendar or whatever. And that's been really helpful. I mean, just accepting myself as I am and working to my strengths, not highlighting my weaknesses. And I encourage you to do the same in any aspect of your life. Don't forget to step in a 22 today. That hurt so stinking badly. I had such a stinking hard workout the other day. Oh my golly. Like normally I walk out of my workout class like very, very pooped, very out of breath. I give it my all. I'm so good. That's not what I mean, but I feel very passionate about making sure I get my time's worth, I get my money's worth, and I leave it all, you know? I leave it all on the mat, so to speak, cheerleader talk. And they'll always offer like, okay, you could do, you know, burpees like this, or you could do a push-up like this, and offer all of the modifications. And I always want to try like the hardest option first, just to test myself, challenge myself in some way. And this time I was so absolutely exhausted. I don't remember the last time I had to modify so much, but I took it as a positive and as a strength when maybe in the past I would be down on myself. But when you're tired and you're about to do a push-up and you worm your way up because you just want to stay on your toes, you're breaking your form, you're possibly going to injure yourself because you're not protecting your joints, and also you're probably just not getting the most out of that rep than if you were to do it with proper form at a more modified level. So that's how I like to shift my mindset when maybe I would have previously been more negative to myself. Like, of course you can do a push-up, like stay on your toes, but I was freaking tired. So we went with the modified route, and I was proud of myself for doing that. A coach told me once that modifications are strengths, and I loved that. Well, thank you so much for watching, friends. Lauren, if you're somehow watching this, love you so much. I hope that you're thriving with your HBO show. You're so stinking cool. Lauren also has a really funny podcast with her boyfriend, Jeremy. It's called Wild Till 9, as in they're having the time of their lives until they go to bed at 9 p.m., which I think is such a fabulous concept. They're so stinking dynamic with one another. But if you have anything else that you want to just follow while you're at it, step into 22 at Taylor Woods with 2 L's on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to this channel because I love you all so much and it means the world to me that you watch this video. Even if you don't subscribe, thank you for being here. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to step into 22 today. I need a better outro. Bye.